Hello and welcome back to The Letter. When we last left off, Zach had gone to the park after having a nightmare involving the Grudge Girl, and there he met Kylie, who's a small child that the ghost did a little bit of a spook with. Continuing on, the Trimmers follow me even as I get home. I had hoped a little stroll around the block for a few hours would help. Instead, I am assaulted with more images of her. Her smile, the loathing in her eyes, the stench of gore, the horrid crunch that comes with every movement she makes. Even old memories have been sullied by her, and Ma's song no longer sounds as sweet as it meant it. And Ma's song no longer sounds as sweet as it meant to be. I feel there's something missing there, but I've given up. In the end, all I got is a sinking feeling I will never be rid of her image, and another ridiculous idea that may or may not even work. The sun is already hanging low on the horizon when I make it back, and for the first time, coming home feels more like a chore. Only, I didn't arrive to an empty room. Because as soon as I open the door, I am greeted by none other than...
Sup, Z-Man?
Whatever proverbial stone has made a home at the pit of my stomach automatically flies right out the window at the sight of Ashton. Sitting comfortably on my couch, munching on a bag of chips that with both feet propped up atop the coffee table. Common sense dictates that I should throw him out. Any person of a right mind would. But like many other things I've gotten accustomed to, I simply take it all in stride. I never did bother turning him away the first time to begin with.
Ash, how many times do I have to tell you not to call me Z-Man? And stop breaking into my apartment! Call the cops on you, but doing that feels like a joke in itself because you are one.
I didn't. You gave me a key the last time I did that, remember?
After the last one you broke, I can't keep replacing the knob just because you think it'd be amusing to lockpick the hell out of it. And hey, is that my...
Ash smirks at me because of course he has the gall to smirk, knowing what he did. He pops in what's very likely the last piece of chip into his mouth and folds the wrapper neatly on the table before throwing it on the nearby trash. Behind me, the television starts blaring the music for the end credits of a movie. He's likely been waiting for a while if he's gotten impatient enough to rummage through my cupboards and watch something.
You ate all of it! I was saving that one for the weekend!
I'll replace it.
What exactly is this about? I know I said some real weird things the other day. If this is still about that, I'm not taking it back. It wasn't just a trick of the eye.
In an instant, he sits up, every trace of amusement gone from his face. He clasps his hand in front of him and leans forward. A minuscule gesture meant to ease, yet the grim expression on him tells a different story altogether.
No, you're right. There really are some odd things going on here lately.
Wait, what? Did I just hear you say that?
I'm not kidding, Zach. Speaking of the other day, did you meet with Andrew last time?
Yeah, at the library. He was...
What did he say about the photographs?
Huh? Oh, there's no guarantee it's a supernatural thing. It doesn't always happen, so that's a dead end right there. Now that I think about it, bothering that guy for this feels pretty silly now. But with the dreams lately...
That's all? Did he say anything about the damn letter at all? Did you ask him even?
I paused, glancing at him skeptically. I don't know where this sudden curiosity is coming from. But if Ashton, calm, cool, collected, always logical Ashton, takes interest in this, something or someone must have fucked shit up somewhere. Or the world is ending. Seconds pass. The apocalypse I'm expecting to go along with it doesn't arrive, however.
Yeah, that's really everything. The letter kinda slipped my mind. The photos were more important at that time. There was some stuff about the local horror stories, though. Talked about the curses, and he was really fascinated with the story about a wraith asking for a sacrifice to move on. Kinda nasty if you ask me. But it does make sense if you simply go along with it. I'm not sure how this will help in the grand scheme of things. Why are you asking about this anyway?
Becca's been saying weird things lately.
Weird like...
Same kind of weird Isabella says.
Aight, bro, stop right there. I thought you didn't believe in this stuff.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
Are you sure you even have the time? Ain't you busy with your current case?
I got taken off that one this morning.
Didn't you say you were getting closer to...
Apparently, the higher-ups think I'm doing a horrendous job at it. It doesn't matter, though. If these two cases are connected like I initially thought, then regardless, I'm on the right track. Have you seen the news this morning?
He grabs the remote and cycles through numerous channels until he gets to a news report about another guy who has been found dead in the early hours of the morning today. Burned alive this time. Oddly, no fire has spread, and whatever damage has been contained within the place the body was found. The room itself, however, has been completely vandalized. Help me. Help me. Help me. Another murder, the authorities claimed. If only they knew.
You think this is...
I don't know what to think, Zach.
He rises from the chair and begins pacing the length of the room, lacing his fingers roughly through his hair.
I just know there's something. There must be. There has to be. Fuck!
Well, you do have something in mind, I'm sure. A plan? Come on, Ash, you're good with that.
Does this look like the man with a plan?
I do! I'm just not sure if I'll get anything out of it.
Well, a plan is better than no plan at all, ain't it?
Almost too sudden, he swivels on his heel, and for a passing moment, I thought he's going to shout at me. Instead, Ash simply flops back down on the couch, crosses his arms over his face, and releases a long, ragged breath. His voice comes out smaller, closer to a whisper when he speaks again.
I should have looked into this when she was still here. Maybe none of this would have happened if I did.
Ah, there it is. No need to ask who her is. Every should'ves, could'ves, and would'ves. All our frustrations in one statement, while all we can do is to cope. What should I say?
Rebecca and I are still here. And don't count Isabella out yet. No matter what the doctor said, I want to believe she'll pull through. We'll manage, one way or another.
Don't make it sound so easy. We have no idea what we're dealing with here.
I ain't saying it will be. But we gotta do something, yeah? Make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else.
He grins. None of it reaches his eyes, but it's a start. We've got to start picking up the piece somewhere and hope everything will turn out for the better at some point. And Ash, well, frustrations aside, he's always preferred taking matters into his own hands. However, a little reminder there are other people with him won't hurt.
You have a point.
I always do. You just don't listen.
If he minds the bluntness in my words, he doesn't show it. But little by little, things begin to look up, if only for a short while. Ash leaves mere minutes close to sundown. He said little until then, not even a hint of what he's aiming to do after. While it ain't any of my business to know, his whole reticent attitude on the matter gnaws at me. At this hour, the streets are once again busy with people heading home after a hard day's work. Little of the bustle matters to him as he steps out the crowded walkway, however. There's only one goal on his mind, and I'd wager there's nothing I can do to stop him at this point. He's probably decided on it long before he made the decision to drop by. But despite this, he lags behind.
What's wrong, Ash?
His mouth opens, then closes, but whatever he wants to say is lost in the clamor of traffic outside.
Is there something I can do?
No, just say where you are.
I can't do that. No can do, Ash. Ask me anything but that. No way in hell I'm gonna pretend there ain't a problem when there is. This is a really big one, and I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you guys while I sit here. I'm done running when things get tough.
What? You think you have a better plan?
Who knows if it's better? At least it's something.
If all this is going to do is put you in danger, then I'd rather you not do anything at all. I never want to wake up to that kind of thing again. Finding out one of my friends was left for dead in the middle of the street. One person is enough.
This is still better than having no other course of action, yeah?
He's about to argue for a moment, but...
Look, bro, if things ain't good, I'll be the first one out. But allow me this one thing, aight? Just this one time. If it doesn't work out, you'll be the first one to know. You can laugh then, or berate me all you want, but please don't ask me to step aside like I'm incapable of doing anything to help.
I've no idea if it's the look on my face or the tone of my voice. Ultimately, although his mouth presses into a thin line, he nods.
Do what you want. If you can check in with Rebecca, I'd appreciate it.
When he stumbles into the sidewalk and allows the afternoon crowd to swallow him whole, I like to think the tiny gleam in his eyes is the closest we can get to optimism in the situation. Whether that alone will be enough to give me a peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said. October 30th, Sunday. Night falls, and despite my best attempts, sleep continues to elude me. With her image still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard, with Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was. Actually, guys, let me do something real quick. Because I think I forgot. Yep. I did that for when I was just speed running it. So now we'll have the QTEs, now that there's one coming up. With her image still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard, with Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was. In the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach, it's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off, even for a little while. It's not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 2:45 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for no other reason than just to pass time. Though, if I'm going to be honest, it's not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake tonight, but the anxiety and the hope I'll hear from Ash soon. And for what's perhaps the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end of the table where my phone lies still. I've not heard from him since he left. He hasn't promised to call, of course, but a small part of me wishes he would have the common sense, at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, and the concerns stretching out the minutes far longer than usual, it's impossible for more unpleasant thoughts not to enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help that when the clock finally strikes 3, my hand stills. Guess who? It'll be a complete and utter lie to say my heart didn't leap straight into my throat in that brief second. My whole body has gone motionless, my ears straining for any further sounds. A couple of tense seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how old the building I'm staying in, power fluctuations ain't anything new. Every now and then this would happen, leaving a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years of living here. But this time, the sudden hush brings with it a stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck and set my heart beating hard against my chest. I'm actually just gonna start getting my keyboard ready because I don't remember which buttons this one uses. Something reeks in the air, and in an instant, this place is no longer home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow and keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and begin gathering together the rest of my things scattered about on the table. The camera's body, lenses, filters, diffuser, phone, anything my hand could reach, but in the resulting panic like in the nightmares, it's the scent that reaches me first, a foul, putrid smell filling my lungs with the heavy stink of death. My fingers clamp tightly to the camera, holding it closer to my body as if the tiny thing would provide enough protection to whatever is with me in the room. It won't, but it's the only comfort I have. And knowing that whoever she is, she'd once been human. Perhaps not all of it is gone. Perhaps some of it is still there.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me, a soft scuttling over the walls, followed by a squelch and painful creaking of what can only be rotten flesh and broken bones. Without hesitation, I whirl around, my fingers and camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
I can help you. Whatever it is that keeps you here, I can help. That's what the letter's for, ain't it? You don't have to keep taking people's lives.
There's a brief moment of silence after, and for a short while I think my pleas worked. Then, with no warning, the shuffling resumes. Along with it are the sobs of a woman. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Not gonna lie, that made me jump, because I always skipped this one, because fuck cameras, man, I played enough Fatal Frame. The light flashes fleetingly one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque, misshapen features before it is once again lost in the darkness. All of a sudden, her tune changes, no longer a soft cry, but a high-pitched shriek brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I've mustered flees from my body at the sound, and the next thing I know, my hand is gripping the knob and I'm wrenching the door open. Her wails follow me as I flee into the night. Pacing has always been more of Ashton's thing than mine. When I want to think, I sit and let the minutes tick by until an idea comes to mind or my pulse settles down. And yet, dried leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass at them. Terror is too mild to describe what this is. There's no way in hell I'm going back. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw that letter, she's been after us.
But I can't run. Not this time.
Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Not even Rebecca, who has always kept her phone line open in case other people need her. It does not help that Ash hasn't said a word where he went off to as well.
Damn it! I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
Knowing him, he can be anywhere. But there's really only one place he'll likely be at this time. Dun dun dun. The sun has already peeked over the horizon when I make it to the mansion. I have no idea what I'm expecting to see when I got there. There's Ashton, first and foremost. A part of me wishes my assumptions are correct and he's really somewhere close by on a stakeout. But I've never been the lucky sort when it comes to that kind of guessing. And even after I've made a round of the immediate vicinity, I could find neither hide nor hair of him. Calling him does no good either, considering how awful the signal here is. He can't be too far if he's really here, but if he is, he would have already noticed me by now. Instead, there is only silence, the kind too quiet to find any sort of comfort in. Even the trees seem to have fallen asleep with the rest of the mansion, oblivious to what's happening around it, a small island of stillness in the otherwise fast-paced world. No wonder the whole of Anselm feels at odds with the rest of Luxburn. While the city is alive, growing every minute, breathing every second, and pulsating with life, the village remains unmoving, unchanged. It's not surprising the legend still lives up to this day, and why she's still here, walking its hallowed halls. And beyond me, the mansion looms ominously. But now ain't the time for fear. Even if Ash is not here, I've still got to let the Wrights know what I've seen, what's in their home. And whatever grievance Ash has with them doesn't matter. There might be grounds for imprisonment, but they don't deserve a brutal death at the hands of one malicious spirit. And I'm sure Isabella would want the same thing. I head straight for the door without a second thought. It takes a few rings, the sound loud above the foreboding stillness, before I hear footsteps on the other side.
God and Janet, only a Nancy would knock at such an ungodly hour. Where's that damn butler when I need him?
Before long, the door swings widely open with Mr. Luke Wright standing behind it. Seething would be a complete understatement to describe him. Like this, I've got no doubt why Ash would find him a suspect.
You? How the hell did you get in here? What in 7 hells do you want? It's bloody 6 in the morning!
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time. Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't. Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep. Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
Before I can get a word in, he slams the door to my face and bolts it shut with much finality.
Wait, sir, you gotta hear me out. You're both in danger if you stay in there. Have you seen the news lately? Everything's not a coincidence.
Only silence answers me. Maybe if it was Miss Wright. Oh, who am I kidding? There are limits to how far a person will believe in you. Then again, I didn't believe Isabella when she warned us. And now I'm here, desperately trying to save people, even if I'm aware it's completely out of my own capacity to do so. Is this what they call karma? If so, this is one horrible way of turning things around. Taking people's lives, playing with people's fears, making them feel useless.
You're around, ain't you? You here? Inside this house? Listening, watching, or whatever it is that you spirits do? What did they do to you? I can help you, you know? If it'll let you move on, I'll gladly do so. You don't have to kill anyone.
Nothing. I don't even know who I'm talking to, or if a sane person is supposed to be doing that. The only thing I got after is a feeling of foolishness washing over me. Or perhaps this is just me losing my mind. Out of other options and any other ideas, I let my hands slide off the door's surface and fall listlessly to my sides. I can go back to Luxbourne, try to find the others, try to get out of this mess with them, or let them know how much in deep shit we all are. Both sound good. Either way, my loitering here ain't helping at all. I let the quietness calm me for a few more minutes before standing up and heading out to fetch my bike. It's quite a distance to Luxbourne, but if I hurry, I'll reach it in maybe... The rustling stops as soon as I turn around and strain my ears for any other movement around me.
Yo, Ash, you there?
No answer. If he is here and I've just missed him earlier. Already my feet is moving in search of him for the second time. It won't hurt to double check. Triple check even. With how big the property is, he can be anywhere. If things ain't so urgent, if they ain't so dire that lives are at stake, I'd probably have just waited for him to show up again.
But damn it! He needs to realize what exactly it is he's dealing with.
That is not just a petty criminal he can throw in jail, that it's something beyond the authority his police badge could ever give him. The guy needs to stop playing the big damn hero, sit down and chill. My breathing comes in short, shallow rasp by the time I make it back to where I started. Still no sign of him, and I'm beginning to think I'm just wasting my time here. But that is when I hear it. I'd recognize the melody in a heartbeat. Ma's favorite song. I listen for a while, trying to gauge where exactly from the house it's coming from. My feet starts moving before I can stop them. And there, as I circle the corner, from the room up at the second floor. There are no lights inside and the windows are shut, but I'm sure whoever's singing is in there. And what...
Hold on a sec there.
It's difficult to get a decent view from my position, but something's odd about that window. The marks on the other side, rather, streaks of the color of copper running across the wide glass panes. I can't make out most of it if the strokes are meant to say something. Miss Wright's cleaning crew may have simply missed that room. Still, while I'll hear an old tune here of all places, I won't know. It's an obscure song by all means, but it is pretty rare to find someone who knows this. And for some reason, death seems to follow this song around. Panic lodges itself at the base of my throat at once. Whoever's humming might be, I don't want to be the pessimist now, but on the off chance that it is Miss Wright.
Shit.
I shouldn't just barge in there. I can put myself in danger before I can save anyone. Ash will tell me so in the exact same words. Might even write me a dissertation on why that it's a bad idea if he ain't so lazy. But damn it, damn it, damn it, god damn it! Someone could be in danger. I can search for Ash, but what if it's too late by then? Just with how big this place is, he can be anywhere, and it's very likely by the time we come back, someone's already bit the dust. That and the cries grow louder against my ear the longer I linger. Almost impossible to ignore, drawing me in like a moth to a flame. For a moment I let myself shudder, shaking the uneasy feeling off my head. This can't be a good idea, not by a long shot. Still, I've got to try. Searching takes a while. Eventually I find a branch with the right distance and height to reach the window. Climbing the tree to get to it, however, is a whole different story altogether. I haven't done that since I was a school kid, but even then it's a struggle for me. I do manage to make it work, somehow. Excuse me. After a hard battle, a few bruises and scrapes to my arms, I'm hoisting myself up the window and falling right through the room when the panel suddenly gives. The awful, putrid smell assaults me before the pain from the fall itself, and I have to fight the urge to puke right there. But what welcomes me as soon as I collect myself on the floor and open my eyes only serves to push the vomit up my throat.
Miss Hannah?
Paleness has overtaken her body, her limbs and face beginning to bloat. And blood. So much blood. How many hours has it been? I would have approached her, but the foul smell permeating the room says all there is I need to know. She's been long gone. There's nothing I can do. I try not to gag, not to touch anything, my feet automatically backing away from the small pool of blood at her feet, from the bare walls void of any colors except for the words, "Help me." Panic quickly surges in me. Of all the moments to be here. Wrong place, wrong time. Shit. I've got to call someone. Ash, the authorities, anyone.
She's dead. She's dead. God damn it, she's dead.
Someone has to. A vase shatters at my feet. The sound of glass breaking, renting through the thick, foul air, sharp and cutting. But none of it sinks in. Not even the crunch of glass under my shoes as I take an uneasy step to steady myself. Instead, all I hear is the sound of footsteps and shuffling outside, their very urgency at odds with the hammering of my heart against the ribs. There is no comfort, no escape when the door opens. Mr. Luke Wright barges in the room, wide-eyed and seething with fury.
There should be a law against noise this early in the morning.
His eyes shift from me to Miss Hannah and to the mess of blood and shards on the floor. It doesn't take long for him to put two and two together, easy for me to see what conclusion he got. I open my mouth, trying to weave some semblance of coherence amidst the cloud of panic and fear in my head.
Hannah? Hannah, darling? Buttercup? Love? Speak to me.
Luke Wright, A+ acting skills. Oh, Jesus.
I know this looks bad.
You! What did you do?
There is no question in that. Only an accusation.
I know this looks really bad, standing here in your house with a dead body, but I can explain.
You killed her! You ones! Get in here!
Mr. Wright, this ain't what it is. Outside, there was a noise. Someone's crying.
You killed her! Hannah! Oh, Hannah! My lovely, beautiful Hannah! I knew you were bad news the moment you showed up here!
You have to believe me, sir. It wasn't me. I swear to God, it wasn't.
For a moment, there is only silence, an ache, and the room abruptly tilting on its axis, dimming.
Call the police! Get rid of this rubbish!
Certainly. Will you be having tea this morning? Bring it to my study. Clean out that awful skin.
Darkness falls. October 31st, Monday. And that'll be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.